Welcome back to Mind Trick Media. Today we are here with a special guest. Our guest is Noah, and we're just going to have an open-ended conversation about anything Star Wars related. So, I know you and me have talked about it a little bit, Noah, but what do you think about Starkiller becoming canon, if it was a possibility?
Well, to be honest with you, if Starkiller was ever to become canon, they would really have to die him down. I mean, his abilities are just way too strong. I mean, his abilities, his power, is on the same level as Darth. I mean,
It's pretty close.
yeah.
The game makes it seem like it's pretty close.
If not exceeding him, to be honest.
Well, Darth Vader still beats him, so I mean, do you think that it would be a good idea to bring him into canon and possibly make the character like not with what the audience sees Starkiller as? Because he would be almost a different character at this point.
He would have to be almost 100% different. He couldn't be anywhere near what he is.
Personally, do you think that would be a good idea?
I mean, I could see it happening as like his own little, like TV series as himself. But I would see it more as a Legends and not canon.
Well, it'd be different if they established it as a Legends, like TV show. They've done that before. Pretty sure the 2D animation of the Clone Wars is Legends. I'm pretty sure all of Visions is Legends, like the animated stuff. Would you want to see Starkiller in canon?
Oh, I'd love to see it. I would really love to. I would love to see him be canon, but just, not as powerful.
Absolutely not. So I think it's impossible to add him.
I was going to say Tyler.
I want to
rip it
say
into him.
impossible.
I would say to add the character that we know, and he falls into. I'm going to add to this question. I'm going to add Nihilus to it. I think those are probably the two most impossible characters to add.
I'm going to argue against Nihilus a little bit.
Go ahead. You're wrong.
Nihilus is labeled as a broken wound in the Force.
It would be so far in the past that it wouldn't matter.
Well, I mean, yeah, if they would start making content that was in the Old Republic, would you bring
it
him
just
in?
be Legends?
I don't know if I necessarily think it has to be. But also, if you take,
Yeah, but they would have talked about it.
But if you take Darth Nihilus, for example, he's as powerful as he is because of him being a broken wound in the Force. He was created by the Force. So it's kind of like...
And Starkiller is a Force-sensitive clone.
Which would make things difficult, but I mean,
him as
impossible? No.
Starkiller as a Force-sensitive clone kind of just dumbs him down anyways. He's not as powerful when he's the clone versus when he's not the clone. I do agree with you in a sense that I think it would be really hard to bring Starkiller into canon. I don't really think they should either. I think it would just be almost fan-pleasing, and then he would just be dumbed down, and would that even be fan-pleasing at that point? But for Nihilus, you bringing that up, I disagree with that. I think you could bring Nihilus into canon because
what would they make the story about?
I mean, if they just brought
because you'd have to show it from before birth.
Like, show him being, like, created, basically?
Yeah.
I think that'd be cool Star Wars content that we've never seen before.
And you expect them to do a good job.
Well, that's a completely different story. Do I think it's possible to bring him into canon, though? Nihilus specifically? Yes. Starkiller? I don't think so.
No, I don't think he could be canon, but I do believe he should get his own film series.
Series?
Well,
So you're just on board with them making these Legends things just come to life?
I think they should make the Legends come to life. I don't think they could, fully put them as canon, but I do believe that they should get some screen time.
So you think that they could just start bringing anything from Legends into not canon, but it would just be, we're going to make a Legends TV show and then just do whatever? You think that they should do stuff like that?
I mean, I would watch a Legends TV show.
That's an interesting concept. I've never heard anybody talk about something like that
Well,
before.
I mean, you would just... They couldn't even classify it as that, though, because they'd have to change their whole idea of how they make movies and shows. Everything that they touch that is movie and TV show they consider to be canon.
Well, also it begs the question: if you bring Legends and make Legends characters and call the TV show or the movie Legends, and then you have powerful characters, not like Nihilus. I'm not going to lump Nihilus into there. He's kind of a special case scenario, in my opinion. But if you bring in like Revan and you bring in Bane or somebody like that, and you make them like super powerful, and then you have the canon movies and canon TV shows, and they don't have the powers like they do in Legends because, you know, Star Wars was established in 1977. Do you think people wouldn't even give a shit about canon anymore? Because canon Star Wars just wouldn't be as consumable because it's not as cool.
It's already not as cool.
Well, if you start making Legends stuff, it's really not as cool.
I don't know what they could, Nihilus show or movie. Your personal opinion.
Are we talking about something that's just specifically towards Nihilus, or are we just Old Republic?
I mean, he's not really a part of that.
Yeah, I mean...
He is, but he's not.
I guess he is, but you could have an origin story of Nihilus, which would be cool, and...
I think you'd have to explain way too much shit. There would be no time.
Then it would have to be a TV show if it can't be a movie.
I don't think there's enough time in a TV show to explain that.
Depends on how long it would be.
I don't think either of these characters are consumable to the mass audience.
Starkiller would be.
You would have to kill him down so much.
Well, right. That's the point. That's why I asked the question.
He's bringing down spaceships with the Force.
That spaceship was already crashing, though.
He was directing.
And he nosedived it. The closest thing we have to that is Rey catching one. And then Vader's Vader.
I mean,
and even the ship that Vader took down was a fucking 1/100th of the ship that fucking
but the one
Starkiller
it was already
down.
Coming down. He basically just pushed it down.
He nosedived it to where it would land a foot in front of him. Perfectly.
I don't know. I don't think that specific scene's that far-fetched. But
you also have to have him fighting Darth Vader on Kamino, which also doesn't make sense.
Well, he also fights Luke Skywalker and stuff, and
also doesn't make sense.
Right. That's the parts for me where it's like, all right, if you want to bring...
Kamino's already been fucked.
Right. Yeah, Kamino's not even a thing anymore.
I mean, it is, but...
Well, yeah, but they destroy it in the Bad Batch, which that would make him being brought to Kamino to be made into a clone later in the timeline wouldn't make sense at all. So you just have to rewrite Starkiller into canon completely.
Starkiller
so
as the character we know would not be Starkiller.
Yeah, it wouldn't be Starkiller at all.
No, I don't think he would be Starkiller, but I mean, we would still get an essence of him, just not the full thing. Nowhere.
So what I'm hearing is you just want to see Sam Witwer on the big screen.
Sam Witwer. I like Sam Witwer. He's a great actor. He's a great voice actor, and I think he should get a shot at, live action.
As who?
Because we could see him as, like, Maul.
I mean, we could see him as Maul. We can see him as a
live action Maul.
A dimmed down.
Never.
It would be easy.
He doesn't have.
It would be easier to get, unless they completely wrote a new character at some other point in the Star Wars timeline, where it's like, all right, Sam Witwer is just casted as a new character, and then Sam Witwer gets to play that character. But with the voices, or he is the character, like in Starkiller's case, it would be the easiest to bring him as Darth Maul.
He just doesn't fit the body.
I know, but like that's the easiest one because bringing Starkiller doesn't make any sense.
I don't think he'll ever be in anything live action.
I don't know if I think so either. I think he should get his opportunity, but I don't think he will. I just think it would be ridiculous, like we talked about with the Cal Kestis actor situation in
I think that whole thing's dumb.
In a previous episode. If you were to cast somebody to play Starkiller, possibly, and you didn't pick Sam Witwer, that would just be ridiculous. Like, there's
no other choice.
Well, right, and then he's been a part of Star Wars since he's been Starkiller in some capacity and everything. So why would you cast somebody else to play the character? But I think it would be cool to see him play a new character in one of the other movies or TV shows. Like he could be like a side Jedi, or he could be a main character. I think it would be cool to see him on the screen.
I just don't know what he would do. It would be worth him being on the screen.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Could do it anyway.
That ain't the best answer.
What?
He could do it anyway.
I mean, they could do it any way they wanted to. They could put him in his maul. They could not.
They can't do that. He doesn't look anything like him. Like,
Well, no shit.
I mean,
He doesn't look like an alien.
the
in Star
body
Wars.
shape, all of that. He's also old now.
He's not that old.
He ain't flipping and doing shit like what fucking the actors for Maul do.
Yeah.
It's called a stunt double for a reason.
Then what's the point?
His face. I mean,
face.
He doesn't look like
look
him.
at Pedro Pascal, for example. He doesn't do anything except for when Mando takes the helmet off.
Yeah, he doesn't. That's what I'm saying. He has a mask on. It's easy to have a fucking double when you're not even there.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything bad about Pedro. I mean, we love Pedro as well.
I'm not talking. I mean, yeah.
That third fucking season sucked.
So what are we? The conclusion then? No Starkiller or?
I think both of them's a no. Unless they made like a Legends Tale of the Sith.
Tales of the Sith could, like I've said it before.
It would not. That would be a 20-minute episode though, and it would make zero sense.
Right, and I think Tales of the Sith or like Tales of the Jedi or Tales of the Empire could be really good for Star Wars because it's like, all right, it's a tale. It's like almost like a.
It doesn't have to be real.
It's like a campfire story. Everything's
Exactly.
everything.
No.
I think so.
And
It's a,
campfire
But they didn't go
stories.
that way.
Campfire stories
I know they
change
didn't-
from person to person.
I know they didn't go that way, but that's something that you could do. It'd be like, I know they didn't establish it that way, but like Tales of the Sith literally could be something just completely random and make somebody super powerful for absolutely no reason. I understand that's not the route they've gone down with Tales of the Jedi or
And
Tales
I don't know
of
if
the
that's the
Empire.
best route to go down.
It would almost be like making the Legends TV
Yeah,
shows.
dude, but that's
like
what I'm
we
saying.
said.
Like, let's say they do Tales of the Sith, and there's 6 episodes. Would you want 6 characters, or would you want 2 characters?
Probably it'd have to be 2, like they've been doing.
Okay, yeah. And so, which 2 characters would you choose?
Darth Bane would be the easiest.
Nihilus would be a 10th pick.
Darth Bane would be the easiest one to bring into canon because
You say that, but it's way more difficult than you think.
I don't think so. I think Darth Bane would be so easy to bring into canon.
Yeah, and what happens when they just make him a little bit different than what we like, or what we want, or what we think he is? Then we're just pissed off even more. Revan has like a distinct look to him
Right.
that people accept. Bane does not.
I'm not particularly worried about what Bane's gonna look like.
Oh, I am.
I'm more worried about like them just messing up the story that I feel like is very easy to just be like, this is canon.
I don't think they have enough time in 3 episodes to explain anything about Bane.
I mean, yeah, the 3 episodes of Bane would literally just have to be like, all right, we are picking like one of the books, and then like it's very narrowed down to the point.
Yeah, and then like you would end on a cliffhanger. The end of the 3rd book is a cliffhanger.
I mean, I've been arguing this entire time that they should bring Bane into canon and do something for just Bane. Not even like Tales of the Sith where it's like, all right, let's have just 3 fucking bullshit episodes about Bane. Like, I think Bane absolutely would deserve a fucking series. He literally is why the timeline is set up in the canon timeline. And
I just don't think they can do it.
But they even say it. They say he's the reason why the Sith
Okay,
are the way
I
they are.
understand what you're saying. They can't do it.
I think it's super easy. I'll come and do it. We can come and do it. I think it'd be fucking awesome. And
That's not what I'm saying, and you know it's not what I'm saying. They couldn't do it.
Why?
Because they would have to change the story.
I don't think so. Why do you have to change the story?
Because it's Disney. What did they just do in the last 5 projects they've done? Is change everything. Every project
but
they do,
don't-
they change something.
They don't have to.
But they do. Name a project, they change something.
Like, name the ones that they have.
Name any project.
I mean, the Acolyte, they absolutely did several different things that they...
Yeah. Name another one. Name any project. Don't think about it. Just name it. Kenobi. Changed.
I don't know.
Not that it was explicit, but they basically, we are under the assumption that they never meet again. And then we go off of what the one guy said he wanted the Obi-Wan trilogy to be about. That would have broke the idea of what happened too.
I never looked into that, so I don't really know what it was supposed to be.
They found him on Tatooine. He left because he was endangering Luke. Him and Vader fight somewhere else. He doesn't win or lose the battle, but he gets away from him and goes back to Tatooine. And then he's supposed to be introduced to Luke, and Luke and him like have some sort of like alone time together where they start like trying to train. Makes no sense. It would break canon.
Yeah.
Ahsoka, everything they do is technically in a way breaking canon because all of it's new.
It's not breaking canon, though. It's adding to the canon story. They're not breaking anything. That's different. I don't agree with that statement at all. But the problem is you could absolutely bring Bane into canon and just do the story. But, I mean, you're not wrong with the aspect that they would probably bring it in and change something to some capacity, and it would just piss people off. But I think literally reading his book trilogy, you don't have to change anything.
But you're not understanding
I
that
know
they
what you're-
don't give a fuck.
I know what you're saying, but they don't have to, and that's like, come
They
on.
don't have to do any of the shit they're doing, but they're doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's the argument of the community right now. Is there's thousands of things that you guys could be doing that we all would be okay with, and you're doing none of those things. When all of the work was already done for you. The only thing you got to do is send this minimal check that they're going to forget about by the end of the year. And then you can make it and it be exactly what you want. They clearly, from the get-go, when they bought Star Wars, were like, yeah, your ideas mean nothing. Your guys' thoughts and fan fiction stuff mean nothing. We're going to tell you that we look at what you guys do, and we're not going to actually care unless it's so cool or so like something that we just can't change. Like, for example, when they just decided to throw Plagueis at us, like, they could have not made him immune, but it's impossible to not make him not immune. Not immune, immune. Sorry, that sounded weird in my head. Not
Still
immune.
sounds weird saying it as fast as you're
Immune.
saying it.
You know what I mean? Like, there's some things they can't change. Those things they can do whatever the fuck they want with. I like, as much as we want them to do that kind of stuff, I don't know if I actually do, because they're going to put it into their own whatever and make it what they want it to be.
What about like a non-live action series, like another, almost like the Clone Wars?
I saw
How-
this-
For what?
for any of these Legends characters.
I
That was kind of the argument with the Tales of the Jedi and Tales of the Sith thing. Like, that, those are in Clone War style. Yeah.
It's Clone Wars style. It's just newer, so it looks different. But
I think in a way they could do it, but I feel like if they did that, they'd have to make like seasons. It'd be like a 20 episode season about Bane, a 20 episode season about Revan.
the problem with the way Disney's been handling Star Wars, and I don't really know how they've been handling Marvel if it's a similar situation. They had their 10-year plan, and they had this, and this that they were going to do. It's supposed to come out around this time and this and that. And then we've gotten so many different things that weren't on the list, and they've canceled a lot of things on the list. So it's kind of like, where are we going? I don't feel like there's a direction
Let's
whatsoever.
just be for real. The Star Wars 10-year plan was a fucking joke from the get-go.
I mean, it was all over the place.
I mean, dude, the first two things on the list were 2 new movies. Or I guess the first 4 to 5 things were all movies, and like one of them, like 2 of them are good, and then the other 3 are like, what the fuck are we doing? And you can tell there's no direction. There was no plan on making something after this. We want this shit to end here, but we don't know how we want it to end.
Yeah.
But then that goes back to what you just said. Could Starkiller just be a fucking cartoon then?
I mean, yeah, possibly. I mean, that's all he is really in the games anyhow. So, I mean,
How would you go about that though?
sure, they can always find a way. There's always a way to find a way.
They find a way, but is it the right way?
Probably won't be
I mean,
the right
would
way,
you guys?
unfortunately.
That's the thing. Like, I'm assuming you've played the Force Unleashed games,
Oh,
right?
yeah, I played both of them.
Would you just want the show to be a carbon copy of that?
I think if it was the games, they can extend it a little bit more. I mean, you can make each character he goes after, like, where he's told to go after some of these, other Jedis or other Force users. I mean, you can probably make a season for each one of these characters.
A season or an episode?
Well,
At
for
least
sure an episode.
An episode or maybe upwards of 3 episodes.
Maybe like an arc.
Yeah, you can definitely make an
arc-type
arc
style.
series for each one of these characters that he goes after.
I think if they were to do it, a TV show would be the best way to do it. And if you're not going to cast somebody like Sam Witwer to like,
What would that be, like Tales of the Apprentice?
I mean, I guess you could name it whatever, but that's
I mean,
not a bad name.
In that realm. And would it be like what they've been doing, or would it have to all be about Starkiller?
I think it would just all be about Starkiller. I think that'd be the best way to do it. It'd literally be just arcs of whatever he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'd be the best way to do it.
How many episodes
The arcs are just in total.
total? I can't see them giving it more than 6 to 8.
Well, yeah, I could see them not giving it more than that, but it probably like between 2 games.
I could probably make 2 seasons. 2 or if not more.
It would have to be 12 plus episodes probably, which is like all right.
Like Clone Wars style?
I mean,
20-minute episodes?
I mean, yeah, so you take that into consideration. If you're doing 2 video games worth of content, you could be a full season of the Clone Wars, which is 24 episodes based on seasons 1 through 6 or 1 through 5. I don't remember what 6 was. 6 was a tad bit shorter, but then 7 was a lot shorter. But I mean, it would be minimum 12. I feel like it would have to be.
And then they can also add stuff, that we haven't seen. Maybe there's
That's
something...
what I'm afraid of.
Maybe there was something that we didn't get to see while playing the games. Or maybe there's something in the games we might have missed. That gives a little bit more
That gives them
story.
way too much wiggle room.
I mean, it might give them some wiggle room, but I mean...
what's an example? Him going after a Jedi that we know?
His childhood. I mean, you don't really get to see much of it. We just know it's...
I don't think anybody cares about that.
his developmental stages.
I mean, he
think-
goes after him as a fucking baby.
Well, he's like...
No, he's
Maybe-
like 9 or 10.
I don't think he was like 9 or 10. I think he was like 3 or 4. He's very young.
I thought he was young as fuck.
I'm pretty
I
sure.
think he's older than 3 or 4.
No,
Dude,
I
the
think he was-
lightsaber is the same size as him.
Basically, I think if he lit it up when
That
he lit it up,
motherfucker
I
took a
think it was-
lightsaber out of Darth Vader's hand at 3 years old.
It's not like Vader
Jesus.
was like holding it from him.
No, it's like no, they weren't like fighting with their forces. No,
I mean,
he
I'm
just
sure
like
I'm sure we could find out the legitimate answer to how old he was in the game, but
maybe 5 to 6 years old, if not younger. I don't think he's any older than that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I didn't originally want to talk about this, but we're going to talk about it. So keeping the video game content alive, let's keep rolling.
Oh, God.
We're going to talk about it because me and Noah have absolutely completely different opinions over this. Cal Kestis and Cal Kestis games. We've been talking about over and over and over again about how Starkiller is impossible to bring into canon. Literally impossible because of how powerful he is. Noah thinks he's a little bitch. Would you care to explain,
Who are we talking about?
Cal? Would you
said-
care?
You said Starkiller.
Right.
Yeah, you started with Starkiller.
Would you care to explain why you think Cal Kestis is a little bitch? I would love to hear it.
I'm going to start.
No, you're not.
These games are okay.
You haven't even played them, so shut up.
First off, fuck you. These games are good, whatever. I don't know what he's going to say. I thought the argument was going to be about if he should be live action or not, and my answer's fuck no.
We're not there yet. We've already talked about that, but it's time for Noah
Talking
to
about
talk
the games, I mean, the games are good. I like the games. I don't have many problems with the games. The development of the character is a different story, though.
Yeah, he's the guy that keeps complaining about how weak Cal Kestis is. When if you bring him into canon, which it's a canon game, tell me how he's weaker.
This is a canon game.
His games are canon, a part of the canon timeline.
How the fuck did they say that was canon?
Cal Kestis's games?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're canon. They're completely a part of the story timeline.
So Cal Kestis legitimately meets and fights Vader.
Yes.
I don't think Cal could even stand a chance.
He
versus
didn't.
Vader.
He got fucked in the fucking first
I don't
game.
even think they could be in the same room.
Well, listen, let's talk about this. Why do you think Cal Kestis is a bitch? Look at every other character in canon.
he
and
can't master nothing.
can't master nothing.
No, he's not. He has no mastering technique. Like,
He has no mastering technique for somebody that lost the order at 9 years old when Order 66 was executed. He didn't have a master. He watched his master die. And these are all things in the first game that you didn't play. So how are you going to sit here and be like,
I played an hour of the first game.
no, he didn't.
I'm gonna give my opinion. First off, what you said was fucking hilarious.
I don't even remember what part
I
said.
think Cal Kestis, it gets too good of powers, in my opinion.
Right. That's what I'm fucking saying.
But
Liz, no,
I can't talk
perfect.
About, shut up. I can't talk about power levels of what he does, but his abilities, not canon.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I don't understand. Noah's on the point. He's so fucking weak. He's a bitch. He doesn't have abilities that
I
people
don't think
have.
he knows how to use his ability.
What do you mean he fucking uses them in the game, Noah?
No, we use them in the game. But in the cutscenes,
Honestly, that was a dope comeback.
That was retarded comeback. What are we talking about?
the abilities,
We have the power.
well, abilities we use during gameplay is not what's shown in the cutscenes. I feel like his cutscenes are very, died down. I don't.
What?
I honestly think he could probably make a live action series. I would
No.
support
Fuck no.
a live
No.
action series, but I just think
We've talked about
he's
it.
not as powerful as people
Here's my
believe.
thing.
I think he's
So the ability I'm going to talk about is I don't even know what it's called because I'm blanking because I'm
Force
just
Echo?
laughing. No, I know what Force Echo is. Where
Okay.
he like just force blast shit and it fucking stands still for
Oh,
a
yeah.
second. Nope.
and you know what's
Yeah, no.
you know,
Not-
you know,
not a thing.
You know what's hilarious? No. Hold
Why
on,
didn't he
hold on,
just
hold on.
boom? Darth Vader's frozen in
You
time.
know what's hilarious about that Force ability is in the first game he doesn't remember anything because he cut himself off from the Force after Order 66. He was like 9 or.
They know that.
I'm just saying. I'm telling you guys because you haven't played the game.
I
He
know
has-
that, though. You
He
don't have to
doesn't.
explain the story to me.
He doesn't, so I'm explaining
Well,
it.
explain it to him. Look at him.
So Order 66 happens when he's 9 or 10 years old.
9 to 10 years old, so he's had some training at that time.
Nowhere fucking close to
It doesn't matter.
Okay,
I mean,
he
he's
cuts-
got the
okay,
basics
okay.
down, correct?
canon. We go based off canon. He cuts himself off from the Force. Who else cut himself off from the Force in canon? Obi-Wan. And when he fucking comes back from it, he's not fucking fantastic immediately.
dude,
But he still gets
Time
the
out.
basics.
He's a dog in that fight against Vader.
the last one,
Not compare.
not the third one.
Bro, there was 2 days.
That's what I'm.
it
There was 2 days difference.
Doesn't matter.
It's 2 day
Fucking first
difference.
episode is a completely different.
Don't be on my side.
The first episode is
Hey, I love
completely
Obi-Wan.
different than it is in the sixth episode or the second episode when they fight. He is not that powerful in the first episode.
That's what I'm saying.
They
You-
discuss
I'm not
it.
talking about what happens. You cannot compare the two.
Okay, anyways, to my
Uncomparable.
fucking point, he remembers that Force ability and's able to do it immediately in the game, which is fucking crazy. He can't do Force push, Force pull,
Not
Force
crazy.
anything.
It's fucking bullshit.
yeah, like, but you're talking about him being a little bitch. Like he has he has an ability that we've never fucking seen before.
I'm sure we've not seen a lot of abilities.
Yeah, and he has more abilities than more people in canon.
I'm not saying it's weak, but I do think that ability is bullshit.
I mean, the ability is bullshit.
And that's why I don't give a fuck what they say. No, I didn't mean to point at them. I meant like as the them, not canon. They could
game,
suck it.
Well, this is where I'm arguing because the game is established as in the canon timeline, and if that's the case,
I'm looking that up.
Cal Kestis.
I'm pretty sure it's in the
If-
canon too.
If that's the case, Cal Kestis is way more powerful than you have ever gave him credit for.
I'm not going to give him credit.
Why?
I
Why?
mean, I got nothing against the actor. I got nothing against the character itself. But I just don't.
I got
think-
nothing. Hold on.
Okay,
I got
okay, I
nothing
might
against
do-
the
I might
character
do.
itself,
I might.
but
do-
I have something against the character.
I do have something against the character.
Yeah, what?
I just.
You're mad they came up with a new character that's actually a good character?
He's not a good character.
Yes.
Yeah, he is. You literally have said. Shut up. You literally
Yes,
have said
because he's not
it's a good
that
game.
good of a character.
It's a good game. It's a good story. I like the character. I like the actor. I like this. I like that. I like all these things. I hate something about the character. What is that something? You can't even explain it.
I believe it's his abilities.
What does it say?
The game is considered canon because anything made by Disney Studios is considered canon.
What?
So, anything that Disney Studios has made, they consider canon.
Okay, so that's canon.
So anything fucking made after Disney bought it is canon. That's not fair. They could make a game about bullshit.
That's not fucking fair.
Yeah.
But you argue
You're spitting.
against Cal Kestis when one, you didn't play the first game.
You talking about me?
No,
Oh.
him. You didn't play either one, so I'm not talking to you. You argue about Cal Kestis and all this other shit.
I've played parts of the first one.
The first game's story, I think, is better than the second game's story. And when you play,
will say, the beginning of the first game,
it's part of the character development.
he's clunky as
No shit.
Not just him though. That's also like there's no way they were like, yeah, we made them like that because he was like not as good. They're
That's
fucking
part of the story.
The swinging of the lightsaber is clunky as fuck.
It's part.
No,
Well,
I mean
also-
just in general, it's
okay,
clunky as fuck. in that
yeah,
game.
they also only have 2 animations for killing people in that game. 'cause
Yeah.
they didn't have the budget for that game. But the story itself, that's part of the story, is that he fucking doesn't remember how to use his fucking lightsaber. You should have seen the way he ignites it in the first one. Like, it's fucking awful. The first
Yeah, but
time
then
he
in the
ignites
second
it.
one, he knows how to use, 4 different lightsaber techniques? Cross guard, dual wield, single wield, and a blaster wield.
Yeah, because
Actually,
Yeah, and he mastered
game
all
is
of those.
definitely
You-
not canon. Dude could just change what color of lightsaber is and change clothes on a fucking dime.
well,
Fight me.
changing that stuff.
He could
just-
sit down in a circle and he gets into sleep mode.
That's one
Shut
thing.
the fuck up,
that's,
canon.
That's one thing I don't particularly like about the games, that you can change what he looks like. You can change. He's got long hair now. Like, Cal Kestis looks like Cal Kestis. It doesn't fucking like you. Why do we have a customization for what the character looks like? I think that's
Well,
stupid.
because sometimes you want a redneck, Jedi. I mean, you can make a redneck Jedi
Then just
on
have
there.
just have an actual open world game and create your own character and do whatever the hell you want. Don't make us a half-ass
That makes
open
too
world.
and
much
that would
sense.
make more sense because Cal Kestis wouldn't be the character.
Right, because you established an open world game, but it's not an open world game. It's a
But then
story.
your character would be canon because, like he just said,
Well,
everything
that's-
that's Disney is now canon. So if they
Apparently.
made a game that was open world that you create your own character,
So if in the Cal Kestis game they go to Tatooine and they blow up the Mos Eisley's cantina, would that be canon?
Doesn't make sense.
So then if they showed something later, which doesn't, it doesn't.
no, it's in
Because
between
you
that time
take
period.
him to any world has he been on any planet that we know of?
Kashyyyk.
He went to Kashyyyk.
Ilum.
What do you do in that game?
And that's
In that part of the game? Do you cut down any trees?
you cut down any trees? I don't think you cut down a tree.
Do you meet any Wookiees?
You do meet a couple.
Do you kill any Wookiees?
No.
Do any Wookiees get killed by whoever?
Fuck yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of them die.
See, already fucking,
But as an established canon character, and you say all these things are good about it, how can you argue against that? What's bad? You keep saying something's bad, or that he's a little bitch and he's not good compared to other people. He has ability.
That's facts.
He has abilities that people don't have.
I've been on this train since the beginning when we started talking about the live action of Cal Kestis.
I don't think he should have his own show or anything
I think
along
they
those
should have made a
lines.
game about a better character.
I liked how they just created a new one. They didn't have anything in the background.
and that'll work if A, the third game is good, and B, they never fucking use him again.
Yeah.
Fine.
I mean, we talked about it on here before. He should absolutely not have his own series. He has his own fucking game. Why the fuck does he need his own series? He doesn't
well,
need
that's
it.
like what we're the whole conversation with Starkiller.
Well, we don't think he should. That's why we asked you.
But I thought we said we can have a Legends.
I don't think so.
But Cal Kestis is a Legends.
But we talked about if you bring in an established Legends TV show, that doesn't make sense because people are just going to go watch the Legends shit and none of the canon shit because none of the canon shit's as cool as the Legends shit.
That's why it's called a legend.
Yeah, but that's not as consumable to like release. I mean, the Legend stuff would be more consumable, but none of the canon stuff would be.
Starkiller fight live action or like canon Luke or Legends Luke? And what time did he fight Luke? That
sure.
timeline doesn't make sense.
I didn't play the second game. I don't know. It was in the
I think it
second
would have
game.
been early on, wouldn't you think?
I think he had his gold lightsaber. I think it was in between the 5th and 6th movie,
Yeah, I think I'm.
which doesn't make sense either.
That's what I was trying to-
On. It would definitely not be, in his later.
All right, we
development.
established today and now Starkiller never can become canon. There's just so many.
I agree. I don't think he can
There's
become
so many
canon
loopholes.
unless he was died down and he just wasn't the same character. But I do believe that they can make, like a Clone Wars-esque Legends.
I'm not saying they can't do it. I'm just saying I don't think they should do it. There's a difference between that. But anyways, back to Cal. Cal's a hell of a lot more powerful than you think he is.
I'm Cal.
I don't think he should be. That's
Why not?
the problem.
Why-
I don't
why
think he
not?
should be anywhere near.
I kind of agree with that, just because this goes back to my original argument with Cal. Where the fuck has he been at? They could have used him in 19 battles.
He
by
was
now.
basically like, well, where the hell's Ahsoka been this whole time?
I also said that. I said
Well-
she's being a bitch too.
I mean, like, yeah, we have they made the Clone Wars, made this, made that, made people live during this time, but then you have the Battle of Endor at the end of the 6th movie, and they're all fucking alive, but none of them are doing anything. Like, I guess Ezra has an alibi. He wasn't even in the same fucking galaxy, so...
But see, they make him powerful, but he doesn't know how to use
Yes,
his power.
What the fuck do you mean he doesn't know how to use his power? He literally uses it. When you use it, that is Cal Kestis using it as a part of the story. What are you talking about?
If you're saying that he's all this powerful,
I think part of his
I-
argument is there ever any cutscenes where he uses his powers
Yes, there is.
and they're good?
He literally, I think he does use the Force thing that you said against Vader in the first game. And then, what's her name?
How the fuck do you lose then?
exactly.
Well, no, because what's her name? Well, we don't technically lose that fight. What's her name comes in?
You definitely do lose
What
that
is it,
fight.
Siri?
Yeah, Siri comes in. Is it Siri?
Is it Siri?
It's not
or-
Siri,
No,
it's-
not Siri.
Why are you looking at
Whatever the fuck her
I
name
can't
is.
remember.
That's gonna piss me off. Seer. Seer comes in and uses a Force shield, which I think is the first time we'd ever seen it in canon at that point. And Darth Vader actually penetrates the lightsaber through the fucking Force shield, damn near kills her. But the reason why we don't lose or win the battle is because the entire fucking building there and just blows up. So it kind of just they escape because of that. I mean, neither one of them were gonna beat Vader. I mean, come on now. No, but he gets his fucking ass kicked he uses that cool ass ability, I think, and gets his ass kicked because of it.
Then why are you saying he's
Vader
so
ca-
powerful?
But we're talking about Darth Vader. This is the what do you mean? This is the argument. We're going up against the best.
Is he the best? Though?
Vader.
I mean,
Legend, like Luke and
Legends, Luke.
are-
We're not talking about. We're talking in the
Regular
canon
Luke's better,
timeline.
too. When
I mean,
when-
yeah, sure,
when
yeah. But
Vader
at that point,
sees Luke for the first time on the moon of Endor, he realizes right there that he's the most powerful being in the galaxy.
yeah, we're not there yet.
I mean, we're
Luke's
not
still a
there yet.
child, I think, at this point. Luke's probably fucking 10 years old when Cal Kestis has his. No, it's 5. The first game is 5 years after Order 66. So Luke's 5 years old. So we're not even anywhere close to that yet. And then, so yeah, I do think Cal Kestis is more powerful than you're giving him credit for. But when you go up against fucking Darth Vader, it's fucking Darth Vader.
Well, the thing is he should have never been in the same room with Darth Vader.
Why not?
Because he has no chance to
I
stand
also
up
feel like
against
Vader-
him.
He got
Why
killed.
did Vader never pursue him again?
He does.
Yeah, he's in the second
He's in the second game too.
And Vader's specifically going after him?
No,
Well,
he's
Vader-
going after all the rebels.
Well, so yeah, they're going after all the rebels, and then they find out that they're
I don't give a fuck.
they find out that they're in a specific planet,
It's
like
in the
hidden.
archives.
They're hidden in this archive places they made or whatever, and he ends up getting in there and he fights Seer, and Seer actually fucks him up pretty good, but then fucking Vader kills her, and I was
Yeah.
kind of like, fuck. I don't think Cal even saw him then, did he? Because
I'm
they
just confused on how you guys say it's rebels. They would know about Kestis then.
The rebels?
well, they're destroying the building as Darth Vader's in it.
There's
which is
no way
crazy.
that he's working with the rebels and he doesn't know who Bail is.
Well, the point
There's
of
no way.
No, the point of I don't think they know about anybody else. They're kind of it's not like rebels. I don't know where you're getting that from. They kind of have their own
You
small.
also said that.
Well, yeah, because
They're
they
rebels, but
are
they're
rebels.
They're not
There's
the
like,
main rebels.
there's
like,
not
that
very
we
many
know.
of
They're
them.
not the Rebel Alliance.
No, there's
No,
like
they're
Okay,
just-
that would have been
okay.
great for you to explain.
there's
Like, they're
only
their
there's
own group.
there's only like 5 people. There's not very
No,
many.
that's not true. In the second game, you got at least like 30 people in it.
I don't know.
That's
about
why they
30.
had to evacuate.
30's pushing it. They don't have very many people.
They
And
had to evacuate.
the
them
whole
in
point of the
movie.
second game is they found a pathway to get to a different. It's not like a different galaxy. It's like where Exegol is.
The Jedi
you know how
Temple. The original Jedi Temple is where they were going.
No, they were going to a planet where they wanted to build a Jedi temple during the High Republic era. Because you have to get to it kind of like how you get to Exegol in the sequels, where they have to use the Sith Wayfinder. They don't use the Sith Wayfinder, but they have to get to the planet that's a similar way like that.
Otherwise, they die. Basically.
And the whole point
There's
is
not
Storm
a
there.
hyperspace lane through it. That wasn't that hard to explain.
I wouldn't even say that. There's
They're
there's a storm.
flying
I'm
through
really
uncharted territory.
I'm really just dumbing it down to make it a lot easier.
I
have
think
to
what
get
I
through a
said was
storm.
2 sentences and it was pretty easy.
Okay. But anyways, they're trying to get to that planet. That's all they're trying to do, and they're trying to get the key to be able to get there. That's part of the game. And some guy,
Key?
they call it a key.
Like a physical key?
No, it's not a physical key.
They call it a key. It's a physical thing, but it's not a key.
But to what?
I don't remember.
The pathway. It's just a pathway. It's like a guidance. Like
It's kind of like this
So it's
like
kinda-
coordinates, basically.
it's
like
kinda like
to
what
go
they
through the
did
path of the storm
in the
without
sequels. That's
getting
why I brought it up, because
destroyed.
they kind of like in the movie they use the Sith Wayfinder to be able to find Exegol.
Oh,
they
dude,
use
you
like this
could've
key.
Said that it
I was trying to. You cut me off.
No, because you kept saying it's like a Sith Wayfinder when they went to Exegol. I'm like, I thought you were talking about the pathway, not the fact you were talking about the actual Wayfinder.
I mean, they needed the Wayfinder, and it was kind of similar in different aspects, but yeah. So the whole time there's the guy from the High Republic that was in the Bacta tank for thousands of years, and
Also doesn't make sense. Bacta doesn't work like that.
well, yeah, he just lived.
Bacta does not work like
Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of whack in my opinion.
What's his name? I forget his name.
Dagon.
Oh, Darren
Dagan Gera.
Dagan Gera, yeah.
So
Darren Gaga.
I got it backwards. I was close enough to it.
not gonna
okay?
lie, one of the
You
coolest
gotta
scenes.
just flip.
One of the coolest scenes I've ever seen in Star Wars actually was when he bled his crystal. So he gets out of the Bacta tank. Cal lets him out of it.
Also makes no sense.
I like when he made a force arm.
He did make a force arm.
What?
Because he's
He-
got an
he-
amputated arm from where he lost it in the battle.
And he used some force ability to
What was
where
it,
he
Corsair?
almost had a.
What battle was it? That he
These
was
are
on?
not fucking canon right there.
Anyhow, he
You're talking about
lost
him
the
fucking
limb.
regenerating limbs like he's a fucking reptile.
He
He didn't,
lost the limb.
he didn't regenerate it. He used the
regenerate it.
force ability to almost have like he had a physical hand, but he ends
You know
up
how
losing
they have
it.
like the ghosts, like the force ghosts.
So you're telling me it was a half see-through fucking thing and he was holding the lights?
yeah, it was a. It was,
Yeah, guess what? Not fucking canon.
It was like a force ghost arm.
Awesome. Not canon.
And he was holding his lightsaber.
You know what you could have done? Fucking robotic hand. Easy.
Yeah, no, that was.
He didn't have enough time. He did that in 2 seconds.
Maybe also point out that
They make them for you.
didn't he go right into the back of the tank right as like he went through that with the arm getting cut off and shit.
Yeah, I think he got.
Not how Bacta works, by the way.
I think he got his
still
arm-
aging Bacta.
Well, if he aged.
I don't know,
Back,
he
he's
looked-
fucking old as hell.
He was like kind of glowing. It was kind of weird.
Yeah.
Well, it was some special fucking Bacta.
I don't know.
That person definitely did no research on that when they made that game.
Plus, he
Like,
was,
yeah, they just like it's.
He was white, wasn't he? Like more like white.
He was like ghostly white.
Yeah, he wasn't even.
He's in a liquid.
I
Well,
definitely
he's
say he wouldn't
I don't
be
think
human.
he's a human. I
Yeah,
think he's
no.
a different
I
species.
would definitely
Now
say not
that
human.
would make more sense. I love how you guys just love leaving shit out.
Well,
We
everybody.
just haven't got to it.
Can
yet.
his
We're not
what
leaving it
species
out.
is he?
I don't know.
We don't
okay?
Oh my
know.
god!
He's got like
All we
golden
know-
hair and shit. I don't fucking know.
Was it golden?
blonde?
I
I
thought it
don't
was silver.
remember.
I thought it was like silver.
I don't know. Anyways,
I hate arguing.
can I talk about the scene? Jesus Christ.
No, I want to go home.
You are home.
I know.
Anyway, so he gets out of the Bacta tank. Cal tells him basically that Order 66 happened and the Jedi are basically extinct at this point. He gets pissed off because the whole point of when during the High Republic they were trying to get to the same planet to save everybody and they got attacked and that's why he ended up getting wounded and put in the Bacta tank and shit.
I think his love interest died.
Well, she's definitely dead now.
Well, yeah. Definitely.
But
I don't know. She could be like Yoda.
so
and live
Cal
forever.
told him about it, and as he's telling him about it, he's just like walking in a circle, and then he like force aparts his fucking lightsaber, and then the crystal comes up, and he gets pissed off at Cal, bleeds the crystal because he's so mad that he blames Cal for the order falling.
Good.
Yeah, because that makes sense. He blames Cal for the
think
order.
it was
Nothing you're
because-
saying makes sense.
I think it was because he wanted him to fight. Like he expected him to have been fighting, but instead, he was
He's running. He was a child.
he was on a trash planet the whole time.
No, he wasn't.
Oh, wasn't he?
He was on a spaceship when Order 66 happened, and he watched his master gets killed by like 15
No, I mean, but he
clones.
stayed on that.
Okay, you guys need to play the games.
I'm pretty
No,
sure. he
they
was on a
sound
trash-
terrible now.
I'm pretty sure he was on that trash planet.
You talking about the planet where they're like the industrial planet that they start on?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
That's where, like,
I don't
He
know what
goes
that
there
is.
to hide.
Yeah, so I mean,
That's what he
instead,
said.
Dagon is more like you shouldn't have been hiding this whole time. You should have been fighting like you were supposed to.
I mean,
Because remember,
He was
during
9.
during Dagon's time, it was all basically war and stuff like that.
I don't disagree, but Cal was 9. So, I mean. But anyway, so he gets so mad at Cal that he bleeds his crystal right in front of Cal,
Doesn't make sense.
and then he forces
They were
his
like,
lightsaber
what's
back
some
together.
Cool shit we could do.
That was pretty cool.
I mean, it was cool, but I mean,
I like it better than what they did in the Acolyte with the bleeding crystal.
I don't see any reason why he would just bleed his crystal right then and there. Be like, oh, this is the only option
He was,
I got.
but he was already.
I agree with him.
He was already mad during the High Republic time.
Okay, but does just getting mad?
on to your anger for 1,000 years.
He was
No.
stuck in a bacta tank the whole time. Yeah, he definitely held on to that anger.
Does
the whole
just
time.
getting mad go through and make you want to?
Yeah,
bleed
but
your
you're a
crystal?
Jedi.
Yeah,
That
He's
goes
supposed
against
to-
what we think.
Oh.
Get close to the fucking
Sorry.
mic. That goes against being a Jedi. I don't agree with it.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
the point.
He's been trained.
He started
all this
falling
time.
when he was in the High Republic.
But yet
And they
again,
explained all that?
They make it very clear that he was not.
I don't know. Star Wars fans are kind of dumb.
But yet again,
They made it very clear that he was upset with how they were trying to handle the situation with getting everybody to the planet.
do we know exactly how they trained back in the High Republic?
What do you mean?
I don't know. Go
Was
watch the
it-
Acolyte. They did a great job.
Not the same High Republic. We talked about this for fucking 45 minutes already.
I just don't understand why you just will argue to the day that you die that Cal's a bitch when he has abilities that people don't have.
That doesn't always mean a good thing.
Yeah, but he's not arguing that. He's arguing that he's a pussy and a bitch.
I'm not arguing that he's a pussy or a bitch.
Nah.
I'm arguing the fact that if they're making him so powerful, why does he still keep losing? I mean, I understand he's going
losing
up
to
against Darth Vader.
Then you just explained it to yourself.
But
There
I
you go, bud.
also... He's losing like everybody he knows and cares about.
Well, maybe you should get better at the game to where you don't lose to the people the first
No,
time
no,
you face them.
no,
That's not what he said.
I'm talking about in the
He says he
cutscenes.
lose all of the people he's with.
Yeah.
All of the people around him start dying.
All the
Everybody's dying
exactly.
in the galaxy.
And if he's so powerful, do you think
He's saying,
he'd
why
let all
can't
of
he
them
protect
die?
them?
Well,
Exactly.
why didn't fucking Obi-Wan or why didn't fucking Yoda do it?
Because Yoda went to
Obi-Wan had a job.
yeah. He was cutting up what fish?
Doesn't matter though.
Dog, I meant he was supposed to protect Luke.
Oh, I thought you were talking about how he was cutting fish.
He's working a 9 to 5. You
Yeah,
know, like,
he was working a 9 to 5. I mean, have you seen the Obi-Wan series?
Right.
But anyhow, I mean, if he's this powerful,
If that
why
wa-
does everybody around him keep falling?
If that was the case, then none of the Jedi would have died during Order 66. What are we talking about?
You're telling me he can't protect nobody with all this time-stopping
You
abilities
think you can
and shit
protect
like
everybody?
that? I mean,
The good guys lose in Star Wars all of the time.
Is
In-
there
in their defense,
is there ever really a good or bad guy? Because I mean, in Star Wars, let's point out the fact that both.
Yeah, Darth Sidious is a good guy. Look at him. He looks like a really
No,
good
no,
guy.
no.
man, he just wanted
hear
law
me
and
out. Hear
order.
me out. Hear me out. So both, you know, the Jedi and the Sith, they're both doing what they think is right in their own.
I think
head.
it's real funny that off camera he just wants to say how big of a bitch Cal is. Then on camera he's kind of just doing anything he can to get out of the conversation. 'cause
okay.
he
Cal's a
knows he-
bitch. I don't like Cal.
I think you both have terrible arguments.
I
so.
think the games
I
are
don't.
great.
How do I
but
have
I
a
don't
terrible
like Cal.
argument?
I think they tried to overpower him.
What do you-
Wow, that's the
but
first time you've ever said
he's
that.
not-
What do you
overpowered.
think is the worst part about Cal Kestis?
I just think.
Not you.
Oh,
I'm asking him. Why would I ask
The
you?
worst part about what specifically? Like,
Anything. What's the worst part about Cal Kestis?
I mean, the worst thing is the loophole that we keep talking about where you have all these fucking people by the time it's the Battle of Endor or after the fact and nobody's doing anything. Like, where's Ahsoka?
No, I mean, like,
Where's
what's
that?
Cal himself. We're talking about just Cal.
That is just Cal.
No,
Cal's
what
a
is,
part
like,
of that
the-
group?
What's like the worst thing about Cal?
Well, I don't really know what to say to you.
So what you just said would mean that he doesn't care about other people and protecting the galaxy.
No, he cares about other people. He just can't protect shit.
He's trying to find another planet to try to start another Jedi Academy.
That's what he thinks the most important thing is.
Protecting the Force-sensitive beings because they're going around killing all of them. That's what he thinks the best thing is.
Well, maybe like he never thought to go look for other Force-sensitive beings first.
I don't know.
I think that was in the archives, wasn't it?
Yeah, they had archives of all the Force-sensitive children that they were going to get.
That's what they were
I know,
trying to
but,
protect.
I don't think
Why wouldn't he go and be like, hey, like there's no way he like hasn't heard anything about any other fucking Jedi. When's the second game? What timeline? Like what year?
It's
is
5
that?
years after the first
The
game.
second game. Oh,
So we're only, 10 years into
The
Order 66?
second season takes place the same time frame as the Kenobi series.
the second game.
The second game.
So, I mean, we do believe that there's still plenty of Force-sensitive beings out there.
Amir Ahsoka's out there.
I wouldn't say plenty.
I mean, more than,
That are not children that were established before Order 66 that survived, there isn't very many. The whole point is that entire timeline, Darth Vader starts going to kill people, and then the Inquisitors start to go kill people. I mean, I don't know who he's going to reach out to. The best three, you got Ahsoka, Obi-Wan, and Yoda. He ain't finding fucking Obi-Wan. Nobody's fucking finding Yoda. And fuck knows where Ahsoka was.
yeah, do we even know where she was?
No.
Exactly.
I don't think we have a... Yeah, we keep talking about Cal, but like at the same time, like where the fuck's Ahsoka at this whole time?
She's at least like trying to find people and do shit.
Well, she was protecting people of her own, right?
I mean, she was eventually, when Rebels comes around, she was eventually a part of the Rebel Alliance. I don't know why Cal doesn't
She was
know.
trying to find Force sensitive people, but in that area, Cal is fucking gone.
Maybe Cal's nowhere even anywhere near them in the galaxy.
That's why I think it's weird that Darth Vader fights him. I feel like he can't be close enough to Ahsoka that he wouldn't know.
I can't remember why Darth Vader got there in the second game. They went somewhere where Vader was in the first game, so they brought themselves to Vader.
they went after some like general or something like that.
Yeah,
and
they did
Vader got involved because
Vader was just like, they went to him that time. Now the second game, Vader comes to them, and I don't remember how they
doesn't
got
he
to that
kill
point.
like what is it, fifth sister or something like that?
No, he kills the ninth sister for
Ninth
sure.
sister. So I mean, this is when Vader started getting involved, I guess.
Well, he's on Coruscant at the very beginning of the game.
Yeah, he's on Coruscant.
Cal. The very beginning of the game, the opening scene, he's on Coruscant.
Yeah, they're doing
what?
missions.
Game two?
In game 2.
Yeah. And they're attacking.
There's no
these-
fucking way he didn't know about people there.
He went there for a specific senator for something.
Yeah, he went after the senator to what was it?
What senator?
Capture him or something.
Nobody I'd ever heard of until the fucking game.
He's a new one.
There's no way he doesn't know about Ahsoka then.
I mean, you would probably hear stories about Ahsoka and
That's what I'm
stuff
saying,
like
like,
that.
I mean,
somebody
where would
would've
he hear a
told him.
story at?
Plus,
They're
he's with
already
all these
starting the Rebel Alliance.
he's with all these other guys who were, hiding from Vader and
You don't think
The
Bail
rest of
Organa
them.
wouldn't know what that senator knows? To be able to be like, hey, there's a Jedi that's roaming.
Seer would probably be like, oh well, we could.
Seer doesn't know shit. Seer's a fucking bitch.
Well, Seer wasn't she a master?
Yeah, she was a master to the second sister, and then when Order 66 happened, she left her to die, which is why she became the second sister, because Seer just fucking left her to die to protect herself.
She's
Dope.
like every man for themselves.
Yeah, fuck Seer. She's a fucking...
That means Seer would 100% know who Ahsoka is.
Exactly.
Who's fucking Balin? Let's go to the Ahsoka series. Who the fuck is Balin Skull supposed to be?
Hey, apprentice of somebody.
No-
Probably the same
no
idea.
shit.
Sorry, the same thing that was Seer. He's probably gonna be. He's the apprentice of one of the.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There's goofy ass fucking holes everywhere in these stories. Not just Cal, just
Goofy
fucking
ass.
everywhere. There is, like, who the fuck is Balin? We have not established that yet at all. Where the fuck, like, Cal doesn't know anybody. Why? Where the fuck's Ahsoka been before Rebels? Like,
Wasn't she looking for Force-sensitive children?
I don't remember.
I'm
we,
like
we see
90%
her.
of
We
those.
see her in
She's
Tales.
doing that, but she's doing it on known planets.
We see her in Tales of the Jedi, and she's in the middle of fuck nowhere, and somehow an Inquisitor finds her. So you keep asking, like, how did Darth Vader find them? I mean, how the fuck did that random Inquisitor that apparently sucks find Ahsoka?
that dude's dope looking.
He looks cool as fuck, but he got killed like in a millisecond. So it's like, okay, like, how did he find her? I mean, it's just random people giving tips out to the Empire.
Well, I mean, if you got millions of people going through and around, somebody's
And
gonna
you
tell
also are
something.
talking about the story. Why'd they send Darth Vader after Seer? Seer is actually relatively super powerful. She actually fucked Vader up.
until she ultimately got fucked up by
yeah.
Vader.
She fucked up Vader, and then she had a lightsaber in her stomach, and I was like,
Yeah,
I was like,
I honestly think he was just toying with her.
yeah, until she fucked him up a little bit, and then he was like, yeah, I'm fucking done with this.
What do you mean by
She like fucked up his mask and shit, and he was like, not.
welcome to the party? Every
Well.
other fucking guy does that.
Yeah, but at least like,
Vader's like, I don't give a fuck.
It's his only weakness.
There's a lot.
oh,
of
it's his
weaknesses
weakness. He
there.
can't breathe.
Yeah, I mean, if it works, it works. You know, his respirator was damaged pretty severely with the battle with Siri.
I don't
Seer.
know. I just think
Why
like,
doesn't anybody force like the buttons on his chest?
Do we even know what they do?
They control his fucking breathing and shit.
I mean, I understand, but
That's
maybe-
why, like,
I'm sure they would
he
put
can
something
do,
on
like,
there.
He's the one that pushes those buttons like to do different shit.
he's like, whoa, I need to move faster.
Got more air.
He can turn his oxygen up and down.
I wonder if he like just forces it instead of just pushing the buttons.
That's what I'm asking.
Well, if
like,
people would force the buttons, he'd probably just force it back. So you go to the novelization in the third movie when Obi-Wan and Anakin are fighting on Mustafar, Obi-Wan tries to take apart his robotic arm. And in the process of that, he tightens his bolts even tighter because he was like, fuck you, Obi-Wan. So, I mean, he could just re-push the button. I mean, he's not just going to die instantly when the fucking
what
button
if
gets
there's like
pushed.
an insta kill?
Yeah, that'd be fucking awesome.
No, I think the insta kill was only given to Palpatine because he uses
He was the only one with
Electric
Force lightning
Force.
at that time, yeah.
and yeah, so that would force lightning, like he said. Force
He
lightning,
uses the electric.
electric force.
Electric.
I sometimes I can't remember the names of things, so. But anyhow, that ultimately shuts down his suit.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's your kill switch right there.
I mean, yeah, but only fucking Sidious can do that.
Exactly. That's because
And then
I mean,
Starkiller, if you
other
bring it
people
in.
can use force lightning.
yes,
I guess
but
you could if you're pissed off
Technically,
enough.
it's a choice to begin with.
Yeah, technically, if you're just pissed off enough, I guess you could use it. Yeah, I think you just appreciate Cal so much, and I understand where you're coming from with the different holes in the story, but there's fucking holes in stories throughout Star Wars really badly, dude. Like,
I know that was part of my thing. That's I don't know.
but I mean, honestly, like, other than like, where is Cal during this time period? Other than that, I don't really see a problem with the games or the story, how they go
I
about
think he
it.
is a and not even that the ability itself. Like I don't know on what level he is good at it, but it doesn't make sense.
exactly, that's one of my
If
problems.
he had that ability
It's one of your problems now
at
that Tyler's
10 years
explaining it.
old, if he had that ability at 10 years old, he would have been way higher up as a pupil than
I
what
mean,
he
he
was.
also
he should
has-
have been able to master
He would have had
it,
a
too.
way better master than what he did.
He also
no offense.
He also has Force Echo, which is not very common either.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. He should have had a better master. The fact that no one knows who he is just weird to me.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then
I think they created a character who's just way too powerful for this game. I mean, if you're gonna make him canon,
I would say for a canon game maybe.
Maybe he
Yeah.
just
you just made him.
maybe he didn't know how to do the ability until
Well, how would he instantly know how to do
Yeah,
it?
you're not gonna learn something like that just
maybe
like
he
that.
just did.
Echo
That's a
and
great fucking explanation.
I mean,
He just did.
Force
That's like some
Echo
Ray shit. You saying what Ray did was fine?
they fucking did that in the movie, so I mean,
Yeah,
shit.
so you're saying it's fine. That's his favorite thing in all of Star Wars. Ray just getting abilities.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
but with his abilities, he's still
I mean,
he's had them for
who the fuck
10
is-
years now, and he still can't master it.
Who the That I don't agree with at all, but okay.
What, you think he mastered it?
Yeah, he's fucking. If you're able to use it in the fucking game, Noah, he mastered it.
Can he just?
can't even,
Can he?
he still can't even stop that one guy. What's his name?
Can he freeze
What's that
Vader's
one
breathing?
lightsaber beside his back?
No. What?
The guy you fight at the end.
Bode, the guy that he beat pretty easily?
But he never knew that he was a Jedi at any point.
Yeah, who the fuck is that? You have
never
another,
knew he
you
was
have another
forced-
random ass character in the fucking show that was somehow a Jedi, or in the game that's somehow a fucking Jedi.
And you got somebody who hasn't trained as a Jedi for so long.
He was an adult when Order 66 happened.
Yes, but I mean, his ability counteracted Cal's ability.
No, he didn't.
He had
No.
the speed.
So in the Force fucking like time stop thing, for some reason he thinks that Bode just doesn't get affected by it at all, and he's just able.
I
to...
don't even
I
know what you're talking
but he's
about.
just saying like this character is just able
They named
to
the character Bo in Star Wars.
Bode.
Bode. That's way worse. Bode.
I don't. I think.
B-O-D-E?
I don't
Yeah.
think. Yes.
Oh my god.
He doesn't fucking just not get knocked by it.
I don't think it affects
He
him.
slows down a hell. He's using a fucking jetpack
But he's also
and the
got,
fucking Force.
he's got force speed.
This guy sounds awesome.
He's a fucking pussy.
He's
actually.
he's a pussy. He's even more of a pussy than fucking Cal.
Oh my god.
All right. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time. I'm tired of this.